Morning, thank you. Sorry you didn't get the report any earlier. It's been a tight timeline. So the report before you is similar to Christine's. It's looking at the same Western Economic Diversification funding that's come up available quite quickly. What I'm asking council for at this point is the library would like to submit an application for the same grant funding to replace the roof on the library. The application could come from the library or it could come from the municipality. Western Economic Diversification is fine with whoever wants to actually submit the application. I know that Public Works is busy, so the library is taking on the application. We have in our library, it's now called, used to be called the Union Steamship Store, and Boulevard Cottage Fund is now called the Library and Boulevard Cottage Maintenance Fund, $85,000. In the library's 2012 budget, we have already approved $5,000 for a washroom upgrade. So the report before you outlines what I would like to apply to Western Economic Diversification for, which includes replacing the roof of the library, gutters, which need to be replaced as well, both public washrooms being upgraded to fully disabled accessible, neither of which is currently, remodeling the staff offices in the back to allow more privacy for staff and some better workflow, and to do a small expansion in the Boulevard Cottage, which I think you might have heard of in the past. We talked about removing one wall between two small rooms in the back of the Boulevard Cottage to allow both the Arts Council and the library to use that space for small programs. The library is at quite a shortage for program space, as you know from our space needs report that came out a few months ago. So one of the things that we're seeing is an opportunity to use the $85,000 currently available for library maintenance and Boulevard Cottage maintenance to do the main thing, which is the roof replacement. And we're still struggling this week to try to get some accurate quotes on what the roof would cost. My understanding is that the quotes that were received in 2010, and I don't have confirmation of this, were in the range of $97,000 to $113,000 to replace the roof. As our maintenance fund is not enough, doesn't have enough money in it to do that, it seems like this is an ideal opportunity to apply, given that the grant outlines improvements to existing infrastructure. I've spoken to someone at Western Economic Diversification who did say, yes, in fact, our project sounds, roof replacement is within the eligible criteria. That would be the bulk of the cost. And then what I've added in are gutters, because that just goes without saying, and the upgrade to the second washroom in the library. Since we have $5,000 already budgeted, we essentially have the matching funds to do the second washroom if the grant comes through. So before you is a resolution essentially asking for your support of the grant application so that I can include that in my grant application. And also a resolution to actually allocate that library and Boulevard Cottage maintenance fund towards matching funds for this grant application. Is that clear? Does anyone have any questions?
Is your heading right on the top of your column on the estimate page? It's the HST that's not eligible for reimbursement.
That's correct.
So you should need a not on top of eligible.
Oh yes, thank you. That's absolutely correct. So that's what we would be applying for from the grant. We cannot apply for HST that we will have refunded. So the amount that you see of HST is what we are not eligible to reimburse from the government, and we can apply for that expense to be covered.
And where do we fund the $5,000 from in the budget? Is Kristen still here?
Kristen is not here.
Is it coming out of the 85 or was it coming out of?
I think it was separate because it was actually budgeted last year and we didn't expend it. We didn't get the project done. but I could be
Whether it's, you know, so
wrong.
whether it's 85 plus 5 for 90 for matching funds,
Karen?
it doesn't matter, because 85 is more than half of the 166, so it's,
Yeah,
how much would this, yeah, the sewer connection has to run across the street to send that, right?
yeah. Now, since I submitted this report, I have to say that I've had second thoughts about the sewer connection and whether or not it's feasible for me to attach this to this grant application. Primarily because I'm feeling very much like I will need to add some cost onto this budget for project management. Because there is no one at the Public Works end that can manage the project, it would fall to me. And I don't have the time on my plate either, so I would be looking to add some money to the grant application to cover the cost of project management. So, and because I'm not sure, the sewer connection is in there because it seems like a good idea, but on the other hand, we don't really know the cost. We need a professional engineering company to actually give us an assessment. The current septic works fine. There are no problems. It's more about the long-term future of connecting that building to the sewer. And given that we're going to start to come in a little bit tight, so far there's room in the budget, but we need to add in some project management costs as well.
One of the things that we've done in the past little while is we've formed an infrastructure committee, and we have a number of project managers, retired project managers, who would be, I'm sure, interested in helping you. That would take a load off the librarian.
That would be
so to
great.
say. So that's something that you should consider as well as
Sure.
contacting the infrastructure committee and seeing what can be done.
Okay, and who should I contact for the?
John Green,
John
happens to be the
Green.
chairman sitting in the back.
We're loading up, John.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So I'm wondering if we need something in this resolution about the fact that, because again, this isn't in the financial plan, and it sounds like we'll be spending this in 2012. If we get the grant.
Yeah, it's,
Sorry.
you know, the grant application is August 2nd. I need to complete it by Friday because I started with the holidays then.
You're not going to be fixing the roof until next spring.
And the application is expected to not be, you know, they're not expecting to decide until 90 days after the application closes, so we're looking at November. December, January are not good times to take the roof off of any building, and most of our roofing contractors are pretty busy right now. We also will be taking the heron nesting into consideration, and that window, I've spoken to Sue Ellen Fast and Alan Whitehead about the requirements there or suggestions there. And the window of preferably not doing it would be February until the 1st of July. So I'm thinking the roof would be next summer, 2013, for that big chunk of money. I think we could do the washroom upgrades, we could do the Boulevard Cottage, removing a wall, we could do the office space in the library in 2012 if we can get contractors. But the big roof job I see as being next August, September, and I think we'd want to start getting quotes and book that now.
Could we do it all in the spring, or like in January of 2013? Because we need to include them in the financial plans rather than amending the 2012 one, put it in the 2013.
Yes, I don't see why not. We certainly could just do that for the 2013 budget.
So then I would suggest an amendment to the last paragraph that added the words and that the 2013 and that the project were included in the 2013 financial plan.
And I think the only other consideration that is whether or not everyone feels comfortable expending the bulk of that fund, the library and Boulevard Cottage improvement fund, because I am asking you to essentially expend it all. The roof is the biggest project, there's no question. That's the biggest item on the,
And that's
For
what
the
the
building
money
at
was
the
put
moment.
aside for when we set that fund up,
Yeah.
because we knew we'd have to paint it, we knew we'd have to change, fix the roof and all that stuff, so that's why we did it.
yeah. As long as there's kind of a plan in future to perhaps
Augment it again.
augment that fund again for smaller things as they come up. Yeah, that would be my main thing.
So when and if the Western Economic Diversification Community Infrastructure Improvement Fund monies come in, will that go back into our reserves because we've expended the reserves?
No, because what we'll be asking for is matching funds. So the 85,000 we would be pulling out of our own fund to match the.
No, but what I'm talking
Oh,
about
sorry.
is, let's say they say, we're gonna give you $90,000. We would, and our project only costs, whatever.
170?
Cost 180.
Yeah, I think we
Oh, will
give,
cost 108.
the plan is to have everything in there that will actually amount to $180,000. That we have 90 to leverage, so my plan is to increase the application for the projects that we want to do, because I could think of lots more projects. Painting the outside, there's lots of things will come up to the 90,000 that we
Okay.
would be asking for. So essentially, we'd be asking for the municipality to provide a maximum of 90,000, which is 5,000 in my current budget. And the only thing, Allison, when you're suggesting waiting until the 2013 budget, is I might then need to defer the 5,000 that's in my 2012 budget for the one washroom upgrade into 2013 if we're not going to expend it. If we're going to wait through the 2013 budget to move those funds, I'm thinking as
You have to do both of
thinking
them
as
one
we're
after
talking.
the other from a timing.
Yeah, you want to do them both at the same time.
Well, then maybe the resolution should say that they be included in the 2012 financial plan be amended if need be.
The money in the reserve fund has been specifically targeted for roof repair, has it not? And how
I
long
believe
is,
so.
how long has the fund been in existence for the reserve? How long have you been building up that 90,000 for?
I don't know when it was begun because it was previously called the Union Steamship Store.
When we
and
acquired the property, 15,000 a year
2005?
for 5 years, I think, to
2006.
get you to their first fix.
Right.
Yeah,
2005.
2005.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Are we ready for the question?
Would you like me to reread the last
Would you like
paragraph?
to read?
I'd love to. And further be it resolved that funds from the Library Boulevard Cottage Maintenance Fund be allocated to provide 50% of the funding required for the library infrastructure improvement project, and the project be included in the 2013 financial plan, and the 2012 financial plan be amended if need be.
Thank you.
I so moved.
So moved, second. Thank you. Question? Ready for the question? All those in favor? Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Our next item is a delegation from Alan Boniface, who I see is in the audience, regarding the outline discussion of the Town Code Master Plan.